Many people are calling it the new digital nomad hub of Asia, but Laos and the city of Luang Prabang are still quiet compared to their neighbouring countries. Here, ancient traditions meet modern tourism with a variety of cuisines and activities to suit all tastes. I was lucky enough to spend a few days, including Christmas, in this beautiful city, and I was charmed by its unique beauty and quiet juxtaposition. So come along with me and explore this incredible city. I arrived in Luang Prabang by taking the slow boat down the Mekong River from Phousi, and I had a great time on the VIP cruise. Whenever I arrive in a new place, I always just want to wander around and see what's there first. As you always do in Asia, I found a temple on my way to get some lunch at Joma Cafe. Joma is a chain that's found all throughout Laos and does a fantastic Western style bagel, which definitely fulfilled my cravings. I then visited what is arguably Luang Prabang's most famous temple, Wat Xieng Thong. Even though there were a lot of people around, this complex was incredible. I loved the mosaics and all the little different temples. Overall, this is a pretty cool temple, and it's nice because in Vietnam and Cambodia and even Thailand, I felt like the temples were a bit more similar, whereas this is the first time I've seen one that has the style feels very different to the other countries, which is really cool. More mosaics, more synchronicity somehow. I'm not sure how the culture differs here in terms of religion and the way they do things like that, but it's quite interesting, it's different, it's nice. I'm quite surprised. Paid 20,000 kip to get in, which is fine, it's like $1 so. To celebrate Christmas in style, I headed up Phousi Hill for sunset. This is the to-do thing in Luang Prabang. You have incredible views of the whole city and can watch the sun descend over the hills. Unfortunately, because it was Christmas, everyone else seemed to have the same idea to go up, and unfortunately it was a bit more crowded than I would have liked, but that didn't stop me from admiring the incredible view. Once the sun had gone down, most people disappeared and I was left up there almost by myself. It was a beautiful moment of solitude and a wonderful way to end Christmas. Now, something you may not know about Luang Prabang is that they actually have a decent foodie scene. I went what I guess you would have to call cafe hopping, first stopping at Two Little Birds, a place that does delicious smoothie bowls. I had my first one in over 2 months and it was almost life-changing. I then headed to Saffron Coffee, another chain, to get a delicious carrot cake and a coffee. Unfortunately, I have found that the coffee in Laos isn't the best, and I'm really looking forward to going back to Thailand for a good coffee, to be honest.
Just walking down a random alley. That's lovely. You get off the main street, it's so quiet. And you explore new places. It's fun.
I then stopped at the Traditional Arts and Ethnology Centre. I'd learnt a bit about some of the ethnic tribes in Vietnam and I was really curious to see if it would overlap with Laos at all, and it did quite a lot. I always find it interesting to see how the modern world has affected ethnic and indigenous populations, so I do think that this is worthwhile checking out, particularly for its 30,000 kip entrance fee. I picked up a strawberry milk in the afternoon to refresh myself, which was absolutely delicious, and then I had a pretty lazy rest of day. The next morning, I went back to Two Little Birds and got some more delicious food before heading to the Living Land farm. This is a pretty highly rated thing to do in Luang Prabang, and even though it does seem a little bit on the expensive side, I do think it's well worth the money. You learn about all 13 steps of producing rice. It was incredible to learn about the process, and I was really surprised at how much work there is involved for a product that seems so simple and is also incredibly cheap. It's definitely given me a new appreciation for rice, a carb that honestly didn't used to be my favourite at all. But since being in Asia, I have been converted and am now a big rice fan, particularly if it's sticky rice.
Good level of the water like this, covering the root of the rice is enough. Yes. Yes.
It was lots of fun the whole way through, and we even got to try some sugarcane juice and sticky rice, as well as a few other snacks. In the evening, I went to the night market where I got a few different bits and pieces. Everything was delicious. Particularly this barbecue sausage I got. I actually think it's probably the best thing I've eaten in Laos. The next day, I took the train from Luang Prabang through to Vieng. You have to take a TukTuk around 30 minutes out of town to get to the train station. However, the whole process ended up being a lot simpler than I thought, particularly because my hostel helped me book my TukTuk and the train.
So my pocket knife and my insect repellent got confiscated, so they're quite strict. But we're just about to get on the train, and 50 minutes later should be in the outskirts of Vieng.
Around an hour later, I had arrived in Vieng, where I took about a 5-minute TukTuk ride to get to the centre.
So I've just arrived at the hostel. I'm pretty tired, so I might see if I can have a nap. Then probably do something this evening, like go to the night market or something similar. The train was very nice though. The TukTuk to get places was really convenient, so it was a pretty good travel experience. I did get my pocket knife taken, which I'm not super happy about, and my insect repellent because it's a flammable gas, but that is fine. I've had that pocket knife for 4 years, and probably, you know, I'm practicing non-attachment or spiritual enlightenment or whatever they call it, so yeah, a bit sad to see it go, but I mean, what can you do? You can't bribe them with money because that would be bad. Bad.
In the evening, I wandered around a bit, got some dinner, and met up with a friend. And in next week's video, we'll be exploring Vieng, so I hope you'll tune in for that one. Toodles!